All right, RJ, we got to start this week off with a quick correction. Now, last week when we were talking about what food is going to be in the Climate Pledge Arena, I erroneously stated that I've only ever eaten two things at a hockey game, that being a hot dog with only ketchup and a slice of cheese pizza. When in fact, I have eaten three things, that third being a soft pretzel. So, just wanted to get that out there and make that quick correction. And now, why don't you get us started with this week's Kraken news?
Right. Now, first bit of Kraken news for this week. The Kraken and the Greater Seattle Hockey League, or GSHL, announced the formation of the Kraken Hockey League, which will be the name of the adult hockey league that's run as a partnership between the two. The Kraken and GSHL had announced a partnership back in February, but the Kraken Hockey League will kind of be a unified brand for the Kraken's adult recreational hockey league going forward. A bit of background for those unfamiliar with the GSHL. It was founded in 2001 by Andy Cole, who wanted to help people find organized hockey in what was a more undeveloped hockey market than it is today. It's since grown to be the largest adult ice hockey league in the Pacific Northwest with more than 100 teams and 2,000 players. I think this partnership will be mutually beneficial. The Kraken can use Andy Cole's years of experience and knowledge of the adult hockey landscape here, and the Kraken Hockey League can take advantage of the clout and promotional resources that the Kraken have to offer as an NHL team. The Kraken Hockey League will also be able to use the soon to be finished Kraken training facility in Northgate to host games, which will be great. As you know, we've covered before, it's got three ice sheets, a bar and grill, and it'll just be a great environment for the adult hockey players and kind of a hub for the league. I just want to give a shout out to Andy Cole and the Kraken Hockey League and kind of congratulate them on the new name. I'm excited about this bit of news because I can speak from personal experience. I currently play in the GSHL. I've got a game tonight and tomorrow night, and it's a great league, and that success starts at the top. I've had the privilege of knowing Andy in my time as a player and team captain, and he's one of the most friendly and approachable guys you'll ever meet. And the league he built has that same kind of friendly atmosphere, and I'm sure that's going to carry over to the Kraken Hockey League. If you're interested in joining the Kraken Hockey League, the league is hosting adult learn to play classes over the summer, and registration for the fall season will open up this July. New players especially, if you've never played hockey before and you're considering giving it a try, do it. I cannot recommend it highly enough, and I know Dylan agrees. No matter your skill level, the Kraken Hockey League will have a division that's right for you. It's a friendly, supportive atmosphere, and with the Kraken starting this fall, there's never been a better time to learn how to play. So if you're in the Seattle area and you've ever thought about wanting to play hockey, we've got the link to the league website down in the description. Go check it out.
Yeah, no, it's always great when NHL teams take an interest in supporting their local hockey organizations. You and I both saw it in California, both up in San Jose and in Southern California in like the early 2010s. All three California teams really made a commitment to that. They started building new rinks. They started really getting involved with the local leagues, and you saw enrollment more than double in just a couple of years, and it was a really great thing. So I'm really excited the Kraken are doing that up here. But that definitely wasn't the only news this week. Why don't you let us know about the recent news with Root Sports?
Right. Now, it sounds like we have the beginnings of some good news that we've all been waiting for. So, according to The Athletic, AT&T Sports Network president Patrick Crum told them that Root Sports will be speaking with streaming services such as Fubo TV, Hulu, and YouTube about getting the network on those platforms. So, this is very important. When Root Sports was announced as the Kraken's broadcast partner, there was rightfully a lot of frustration from fans about how cord cutters would be able to watch the Kraken. The only streaming option you'd have without a cable or satellite package would be with AT&T TV, which would run you about $70 to $140. But thankfully, it sounds like Root Sports is in talks to come up with a solution.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this all shakes out, especially after the NHL's national deal that they signed with ESPN, because so much of that ESPN deal was really tied into streaming rights. Obviously, ESPN gets the NHL.TV package, which is all the out of market streaming. That doesn't really matter so much for those of us in the Pacific Northwest that want to watch Kraken games, but it also gives ESPN the right to all the national streaming games and a bunch of other additional games that'll just be streaming on ESPN Plus, and we don't really know how that's all going to work out. So I'm a little curious to see, if Root Sports was to get on, like, let's say Hulu or something, how many games would we actually be able to stream if you are, a Hulu subscriber at that point or something? And, how is it going to work out for people in market? Are you going to have to deal with blackouts and all of that kind of stuff? So um, it's one of these things we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how it develops. But it's exciting nonetheless.
So, next bit of news. We have an interesting rule change that could affect the Kraken's off-season plans. So, for a long time, it appeared that the Kraken were going to have the exact same rules as the Vegas Golden Knights for their expansion draft and their off-season dealings. But in an expansion draft memo sent out by the league, the Athletics' Pierre LeBrun noticed a change. So, unlike Vegas, the Kraken will be allowed to sign free agents acquired before or during the expansion draft to 8-year max contracts. So normally a player has to be on a team's roster at the most recent trade deadline for that team to be able to give him an 8-year contract. If he's acquired after that, the highest term a team can offer is 7 years. But if the Kraken do want to sign a free agent as their expansion draft pick, or acquire a player in that offseason process before the expansion draft, they will be able to offer him an 8-year deal. So Dylan, how important is this change, and do you think it'll come into play for the Kraken this offseason?
I don't know that it's that important, and I would be kind of surprised if it really made a big difference in their off-season plans. Um, you know, you're talking about 1 year of term, which can be a big deal to a lot of players, but as far as teams are concerned, I don't know that there's that many free agents this year that the Kraken are going to really want to go out and grab, especially when, we don't entirely know what their plans are. If they have kind of a long-term vision of building this team, it might not make sense to go and sign like a 29-year-old to an 8-year contract when, you're trying to compete really in 2 to 3 years, right? It wouldn't make a lot of sense for Ron Francis to do that. So without knowing exactly what the Kraken's plans are, it's hard for me to get too excited about this. And like I said, it's, 8 years is a long time. Guys don't hit free agency, UFA until at least 27, 28 these days. So it's you start getting a little questionable then about who's going to really be worth it this year. Some of the top free agents you're looking at like Taylor Hall, who's really on the wrong side of 30 to do this with. Guys like Dougie Hamilton, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Gabriel Landeskog, if Colorado lets him go. Maybe you'd want to do it for one of them, because like a Nugent Hopkins, he's a good two-way center, so you can say, well, he'll at least be like defensively viable at age 36 at the end of the contract or something. But I don't know. I think it's just it's something, but I don't know that it'll really be a big deal for them.
Right, and I've got to agree. I mean, it's a good bargaining chip to have if you're in negotiations with a really high-profile UFA that you want to get, but I just don't know that there's anyone this year that will be worth doing that for. If I was Ron Francis, I mean, there's only one UFA in this class I would really give an 8-year deal to, and that's Landeskog, and I don't think he's going anywhere. So I don't think we'll really see this come into play.
All right, so lastly, RJ, we as fans of the Kraken have a chance to help the team out a little bit. Why don't you let us know about that?
Yes, as part of the NHL's Fan Choice Awards, there's an award for Best Goalie Mask. And despite not having a goalie to wear it yet, the Kraken do have one of the finalists. And I think it's deserving. I mean, just look at that mask.
Yeah, no, the mask looks fantastic. I love that the Kraken's on there. I love the eyes right there to stare down shooters. I think it's really fantastic. The whole design of it, seeing the great color palette that this team has on a mask like this is really where it's at for me, because I've loved the kind of two different tones of blue. I've loved it the whole way, and using the red as an accent, and I think this is what we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. I think that something like that will fit in really well with the whole kind of goalie gear package and everything. And, can we just have one of the Kraken goalies just wear that? Like, I love it. Except you got to swap out the cage, get a nice, cat eye cage, and then
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Yeah.
So if you want to vote for the Kraken mask in the Fan Choice Awards, link is in the description below. Go vote for it.
Yeah, go support the Kraken. And that's it for Kraken News this week. As always, let us know down in the comments your thoughts on any of the topics we discussed this week. Let us know if we missed something. And make sure to like this video, and as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.